Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti. And we begin with the Mariners. The game is starting right now. First pitch is set to happen at 12:08, still just a few minutes away. Our Seattle Mariners are now one win away from advancing to the American League Championship Series. Last night, the team beat the Tigers, winning it 8-4 in Game 3. We'll have the highlights from today's game coming up on KREM 2 News at 4 o'clock. Not too bad outside for baseball in general. We're going to join Thomas Patrick. He's in the Outdoor Weather Center. Thomas, it's a beautiful fall day. You even have some pumpkins beside you.
Yeah, I know. We decorated the outdoor set as of yesterday at noon, Laura. And I'll tell you what, today it is absolutely stunning out here. The M's could have definitely played in the Northwest yesterday without a rain delay. Today, they're not going to get delayed out, so that start time is definitely on track in just a couple minutes here. But if you're just checking out temperatures right now, boy, is it warm at the moment, and our high temperatures should be into the low to mid 70s today. I think our current temperature is at 69 right now, which is very warm for October. That's already well above the average high temperature for this date on October 8th. And we got nothing but sunshine overhead. I have not seen a single cloud in the sky at all for today. So as mentioned, 73 degrees, the forecast high today. I think a few spots could have a run at 75 for this afternoon. Absolutely stunning weather for the Pacific Northwest. Now, this weekend is going to be a different story. What you're seeing here is actually the first shades of a storm system that's just starting to generate some strength. At the moment, it's not going to disturb us at all. No worries today, no worries tomorrow. Saturday and Sunday is going to be a different story, though. So coming up, I'm going to be tracking what that storm has in store for our area and the wild transition from the near summer-like weather today to possible snow for the mountains this weekend. That's going to be a fast change between now and then.
This should be a wake-up call as far as our security presence in the Capitol.
That is the message from one Washington state lawmaker at the Capitol building this weekend. There's security footage of a man parking in a flower bed, then knocking over signs, flags, and statues. At one point, he even set a fire in the reception room. Security workers alerted Washington State Patrol in less than a minute. Then 11 minutes later, the man was in custody. Just this year, Governor Ferguson's budget cut $3 million from campus security programs, including the video monitoring system. Now the agency that runs state property says the governor should restore those funds. We now know the man they arrested is a former Gonzaga baseball player. WSP says it didn't appear to be politically motivated, but instead a mental health crisis. Since no one was hurt, he was released from jail and has not been charged. And we do have some new information about the Pullman apartment complex fire that happened over the weekend. Court documents say a firework started that fire, and police say Elijah Reagan set the fire in his apartment. Detectives found a T-hand-style explosive detonator, the kind used for TNT, and what looked like a mortar tube, rather. The explosion forced about 30 people to evacuate, but luckily no one was hurt. After the explosion, Reagan led law enforcement on a high-speed chase that ended just north of Lewiston.
Your Honor, it's pure fortune, I think, at this point, that nobody else was injured in the apartment building.
Court documents say deputies found Reagan armed with a rifle. He is in Whitman County Jail right now on a $250,000 bond. He'll be back in court to enter his plea coming up on Friday. New today, Kevin Coe, known as the South Hill rapist, is no longer going to live in an adult family home in Federal Way. The King County Sheriff's Office says they found different housing for him after getting, quote, some pushback in Federal Way. Now he is registered as a level 3 sex offender in Auburn, Washington. At this point, we don't know what type of housing that he's in. And today, the hit-and-run suspect on Spokane South Hill is scheduled to be in court this afternoon. Spokane County officials say during this hearing, they will decide if they are ready to proceed to trial as scheduled on October 20th. The 17-year-old suspect is accused of hitting and killing Chaz COO Sarah Doxey. Doxey was 48 years old and out on one of her regular runs with a friend. The teenager pleaded not guilty to charges of DUI and vehicular homicide. Police say they did find the teen 2 miles away after he left the crash on foot. Former FBI Director James Comey pleaded not guilty during his arraignment this morning. He's charged with obstruction of justice and making false statements. CBS's Natalie Brand has more.
Inside this federal courthouse in Virginia, former FBI Director James Comey faced charges brought by the Justice Department he once served. He pleaded not guilty to one count of obstruction of a congressional proceeding and one count of making false statements related to 5-year-old Senate testimony during which he denied authorizing leaks to the media.
I stand by what the testimony you summarized that I gave in May of 2017.
CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson says the charges could be tough for the government to prove.
The prosecution has to show here that James Comey didn't make a mistake, that he didn't have a memory issue, that he didn't intend to say one thing but accidentally said another thing. The bar for perjury is high as it should be.
Comey's attorney says he will file 3 motions, including vindictive and unlawful prosecution.
Essentially, he's going to argue, among other things, in his first motions that this is a vindictive prosecution. And unlike most other cases, he has quite a load of evidence to bring to the court.
I think he's a crooked guy. He's a dirty cop.
Comey's indictment came days after the president posted this on social media, putting pressure on Attorney General Pam Bondi to go after political rivals, including Comey.
He was indicted by one of the most liberal grand juries in the country, by our U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan. Right here in Virginia.
Leading the case against Comey, President Trump's former personal attorney, Lindsay Halligan, who was appointed as the interim U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia after her predecessor resigned, facing pressure to prosecute political rivals. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
The Coeur d'Alene mayor proclaimed October 14th as a day of remembrance for Charlie Kirk, prompting debate at last night's city council meeting. The mayor there felt it was necessary to proclaim Kirk's birthday, October 14th, as a day to remember his life and work. Some people agreed, saying it helps the city honor someone the community admired, but others did not agree. They say Kirk's life is not the only one taken too soon to political violence and should not have an entire day devoted to honor him alone.
I think creating a separate day, a new day, rather than his birthday would have been a better remembrance for all victims, Idahoans and honorary ones too, to move forward united, standing not behind one name but beside one another.
A Day of Remembrance event is scheduled for October 14th at the Coeur d'Alene City Park's Band Shell. That's at 6 o'clock in the evening.